We're going to start by talking about how do you connect. How many, first of all, before I go on, first, I'm very casual, so please feel free to ask questions along the way. I don't like to just talk at you, so please join me. How many of you are using an email service provider now? So a few of you. Excellent. So we're going to talk about what differentiates email service provider from using regular sources like Hotmail, Gmail, AOL, etc. But again, how we integrate that with social media to make it even more impactful. So when we start out, we talk about just kind of our basics. This is a question that keeps all of our small business folks awake at night thinking, oh my gosh, where is my next customer, right? Isn't that what everybody thinks? Where is my next customer going to come from? So what is your most crucial customer base? Where are you going to get your next business is the big question of the day. Anybody? Referrals. There you go. But where do referrals come from? Existing customers. So those are the combination of those. That's your most important kitty. And when we talk about that, we talk about engaging them. If we can keep them engaged, and we can do that through technology now, then we're going to have a winning combination. So when we talk about, okay, so now I have to decide how I'm going to market to them. We can talk about our basics of marketing, right? We can step back and say, well, marketing 101. I know I need to know the demographics, the age. Who am I going to? Perhaps it's based on income, whatever your campaign might be based on. But we also know in a regular marketing campaign now, you want to move off of we're just doing general marketing and think about it in results. So campaigns are successful if you have a targeted goal. You know who you're targeting, right? Whether it be that you want more likes or you want more revenue or you want more membership, whatever it might be, you'd like to be able to measure it. And that's one of the great things that you'll see as we go along that you can do with email marketing. But how do you find where are your customers gathering? Before you communicate with them, you need to think about best ways of communicating with them. Or do they want to hear from you? So some of the things that Pete's been talking about, I'm going to kind of, you'll see, we're going to come back. It's going to be you'll understand how it all kind of comes together. But I am going to give you my favorite example of how our world is shifting. And I want you to think about this as we go along. When you go to your mailbox, do you notice you don't have as much mail? Yeah? One day a week I get a whole bunch, and then the rest I find has tapered off. Does anybody else? Yeah, you notice that? Right, so let's say you get a direct mail piece in the mail. You all know what I'm talking about. A really nice postcard, right? And it comes and it's addressed to, and your name is? Erin. It comes to Erin. And Erin gets that piece of mail, and she looks at it, and she says, this is really cool, but I am so disinterested in this. But I know, your name again is? Gloria. Gloria. I know Gloria would love this. She'd either love this product or this service or this event, what have you. So Erin runs downstairs to her supply cupboard, right? And she gets an envelope. It's just exactly the right size to put that postcard in, right? You're going with me here? And she gets her address book and she starts to write Gloria. No, that's not what she does. So when we talk about getting an email though, that she thinks, wow, Gloria would love this information, all she starts to do is type in Gloria's email address, and in less than what? A second, off it goes, right? So please don't take that I'm telling you that direct marketing through direct mail doesn't work. But just think about it. I want you to think about it differently as a whole package. And what that means is really email is word of mouth on steroids, right? It has an amazing capability of spreading without you doing really anything except creating a great message. It's really valuable. But it depends again on how you create that message and who you create it for. So we look at who do we create it for. So what are raving fans? Does anybody have them, right? Nonprofits always have these fabulous people who will volunteer to do anything. They'll run a committee, they'll join an effort, they'll teach a class, they'll do something. Those are raving fans, just like you have customers who talk about you to people all the time.
Aren't raving fans the people at football games that paint them the color of the jersey?
No, that's Raider fan. No,
yeah.
Did I?
Black Hole, Raiders.
But you know who they are. Your customers, though, is your biggest bucket, really. These are the folks, you want to keep those folks happy and be in touch with those folks. And you hope to convert them to become raving fans, right? And then you have prospects. Prospects are people who need your product or service or something like it. They know of it because they know somebody who's used it or been there, done that. but they don't necessarily know you or haven't connected. They haven't made that connection. Versus suspects who have an idea that they might need, but they're not sure where. They know that they can do searches, they can look around, but they don't know anybody directly, or they don't have any customer feedback. Before we go on, just so you know, the reason why I collect all of your email addresses, and we'll talk about this more, is so that you will get this PDF. I'll send it to you in email. So you can take your notes, make sure you ask questions, but you don't have to write everything down. You'll actually get it. So my favorite, or not favorite bucket, is our disinterested. See how grumpy he is? He just doesn't care, and it's not as much as, it's not personal that people don't care about what you do, but they may not be interested in your business, but unfortunately, old style marketing is that we focused a lot on that. So put a lot of time and effort in folks who are disinterested, where you want to put your time and effort in with your customers, because they're going to talk about you. That word of mouth on steroids is pretty fabulous. And of course, your raving fans, who don't do anything but keep them warm and happy, and off they go. So what Pete was talking about, the funnel, we want you to look at your funnel a little bit differently and think about it in different ways. It still doesn't mean you want to grow your business, right? Everybody wants to grow their business. But when we look at the old marketing focus, traditional marketing was to throw out your net, cast your net, do the Super Bowl technique, this big expense of advertising, and then hope that it catches. Somewhere along the way, you're going to pull up a few good fishes or what have you, right? And you spend a lot of time doing that. Your focus is on acquisition. Now that the world has gone very social and is very connected, you look at it a bit differently. And really think about that you want to foster those relationships, because those folks are an incredible resource for you. Folks that are happy are a great resource. So that doesn't mean you're not going to find. And as scary as it seems that the find is a smaller part, organically it continues to grow, because as you find, others will continue to find through that. And then again, those folks are interested, so we know they have a value to them. We also know here's some good reasons why it's harder to acquire. Costs 6 to 7 times more to get a new customer than it does to keep a customer. So you're putting out, whether it be money or energy, right? At a nonprofit, you're working extra hours or on the side. You have spent that time and effort where your current customer is going to spend 67% more, because they're going to come back and add a service or another product. They like you. They're going to hopefully, after a few times, as we've learned, over 10 purchases perhaps, they're going to refer you. Maybe even after the first time, if it's a fabulous experience. Very experiential oriented now. So there's a shift. They have great service, they love it, and they're going to talk about it.